This is an adult bedtime fairy tale called Nocturnal Temptations. In the long-forgotten land of Viowin, where moonlight touched the black hills like fingers tracing secrets into velvet, there lived a woman named Thalindra. No one knew where she came from, only that the night she arrived, the lake beneath the crescent forest turned mirror silver, and no birds sang at dawn. Thalindra was unlike any who had walked among mortals. Her hair flowed like spilled ink, her eyes were violet fire, and her voice could unmake vows. She took residence in a crumbling tower at the edge of the forest, alone but not lonely, surrounded by orchids that only bloomed at night. And though she never stepped foot in the nearby village of Merrowshade, every man, woman, and wandering soul came to know her name. Some whispered she was a witch. Others said she was a fallen star who had struck a bargain with shadows. But one thing was true. Thalindra made you want things. Things you'd never dared to speak loud, and things that made you tremble, either with shame or with need. One evening, as dusk fell like velvet and foxgloves whispered secrets to the wind, a young blacksmith named Samuel sat at the edge of the tavern's hearth, watching the flames as if they might answer something burning within him. He was good-hearted and strong, but silent, always silent. And beneath his calloused hands and soot-covered skin lay a yearning he dared not name, not to his father, who believed in duty, not to the villagers, who believed in marriage, and certainly not to himself. He'd heard the tales of Thalindra. He'd scoffed, like everyone did, in public. But alone at night, he dreamt of violet eyes and a voice that spoke directly into the hollow space behind his ribs. Seduced by curiosity, one twilight, he followed the path into the crescent forest. He told himself he was only walking, only clearing his mind. But his feet took him where he feared most, to the tower. And the door was open, as if it had been waiting. Thalindra stood at the top of the winding staircase, a silhouette against the candlelight gloom. "You came," she said simply. Her echoing lilt drew him in closer. Samuel shuddered, her violet eyes tracing his inner thoughts. She descended slowly, robes whispering against stone. He didn't flee, he didn't move at all. He was transfixed. Up close, she smelled of night jasmine and whispering stars. Her skin held a faint glow as if the moon had kissed her once and never let go. "I know who you are, and I know what you are," Samuel said, almost as a warning. Thalindra tilted her head. What's that, little smith? A temptress, a corrupter of souls." Her violet eyes pierced him. "I'm only a mirror." "A mirror? I don't plant the seeds, Samuel. I water what already grows. Temptation is not always a scream. Often it's a whisper, a door left unlocked, a hand brushing too long, a dream you don't wake from. Thalindra didn't touch him, not that night, but she gave him wine made from midnight berries and let him speak. For the first time in his life, Samuel revealed his inner thoughts, his wants, his hungers, and his aching desires. He came back the next night and the next, and soon he stopped pretending. He asked her why she lived alone. Thalindra smiled. Because my price is steep. She leaned close, her breath like cool silk. I give you what you long for most, but you must give me the part of you that fears it. Samuel puzzled. What does that mean? It means, she whispered, you won't ever be the same. Samuel accepted, and slowly he changed. His forge burned hotter, his work turned legendary. Nobles sought him, women swooned, men envied. And yet he returned every night to the tower. But something in him had transformed. He laughed louder, spoke bolder, and he kissed who he wanted and didn't look away. The village said he was bewitched. Maybe he was. And he no longer trembled at what he wanted. He no longer shamed himself for hunger. Thalindra had taken his fear, and without it, he was himself. One night, Thalindra asked him, do you regret the price? No, but temptation is a tide. Once you step in, it pulsates and takes you deeper. Samuel wanted more. He wanted to stay forever. I'll give you my heart, he said, if you'll keep me. Thalindra froze. Her expression changed. Something sharp flickering behind her eyes. Oh, but you don't understand, she said. Tell me, whisper it to me. She took his hand and pressed it to her chest. Her skin was cold, and beneath it, nothing, no beat. I don't have a heart, Samuel, not anymore. That's what I gave up. Why? To become what I am, to survive the desires of others. He stepped back. But you said you were only a mirror. I was, once. He could have left then, he should have. But love is the cruelest temptation of all. Then take mine, he said. Thalindra stared, and for the first time, she looked afraid. Don't offer what you can't reclaim. I'm not afraid. Oh, but you should be. But he insisted. And so she kissed him, once, deeply. And as her lips touched his, she pulled his heartbeat into her, gently, carefully, and with reverence. In the days that followed, the village mourned. They found Samuel's body at the edge of the forest, peaceful, smiling faintly. His forge went cold, and no one saw Thalindra again. But the tower still stands, and sometimes when the moon is high and silence falls too heavily, villagers claim they see two figures in the window. One shadow, one light. And the orchids bloom still, but only at night. The moral of this tale is, temptation is not evil, it's a mirror. What you do with it, that's the story. And love is not always a gift. Sometimes it's a surrender, a beautiful one, and a fatal one. But isn't that what makes it real?